Hey everybody, welcome to Courtroom Insider. It's Sunday, the 7th of September.
I can't even keep track of that.
I know, we've had an incredible few days here at CrimeCon. It's all done now.
Yes.
And we're still here. We're spending one more night just to have a time to relax and break down. What'd you think overall?
Oh, it's been a really good weekend. Lots of fascinating things. Lots of good interviews coming up for you.
I think I counted like 24. We've done a lot. We've talked to a lot of people. And one of you said, by the way, I'm Nate Eaton, and this is Erica Eaton. Welcome to Courtroom Insider. Let us know where you're watching from if you have any questions. Somebody in the comments yesterday was like, is this Courtroom Insider or CrimeCon celebrity interviews? I guess it's a little bit of both. I don't know if these people would consider themselves celebrities. These are people that are just really passionate about the law and have fascinating things. So we're going to talk about cases, of course we do, but it's, a little bit of everything. And we're at CrimeCon this weekend and thought we'd bring you some programming. So
yes.
Did you have a overall, something that really stood out to you this weekend?
I don't know. Come back to me in a minute. Did you have something that stuck out to you?
It's fascinating how many people, what cases people are interested in. There's different cases that people are interested in, and many I haven't even heard of. There's so many stories. We were just talking with Mike King, who, by the way, will be on tomorrow night, about how he spent the night at Warren Jeff's home, as an investigator. So anyway, stuff like that. What about you? Think of one?
I thought Nate asked many people in their interviews, your CrimeCon celebrities, if you will, but I would like to just point out that most of these people were all prosecutors and in courtrooms every day.
Right.
A lot of them that you spoke to.
Right. Or seasoned journalists or... the different reasons why people come to CrimeCon, whether they have a missing loved one or whatever. It's fascinating to me. I'm not really a true crime junkie like a lot of people, like a lot of you probably are. But lots of different reasons for people being here, and there's a little bit of something for everyone, which is cool. Yeah. So if you missed this year and you want to, we'll talk about this in a minute, but it's in Las Vegas next year. I don't think you can sign up. I think the only people who could sign up had to be here at the venue. And then the cruise is next November, and we've been invited on the cruise. So that should be fun. So far, they've announced me and Chris Hansen from Take a Seat and To Catch a Predator. So as soon as I have a code, if you want, and as soon as they go live with it on their website, we'll let you know if you want to sign up. And we don't get paid. CrimeCon's not paying us. We just do this because we think it's fun and a little tiring. So sorry about the bags under our eyes. We have so many interviews to bring to you tonight. I'll just go through the list and we'll get straight to them. John Ramsey, Matt Murphy, Erin Moriarty. We have Derek from Courtroom Confidential. Josh from Courtroom Confidential, Joseph Scott Morgan, Sheryl McCollum, Josh Mankiewicz from Dateline, Kelly Siegler, Kelly, and Vinnie Politan. And we have an update on the wall. Remember the other day, the missing wall? I brought you Thursday night, I believe, our first night here. You should see it tonight. So without further ado, our first interview.
John Ramsey.
Everybody, we are backstage here at CrimeCon with John Ramsey, who is here with some of his family. We were just talking about it's your third CrimeCon.
Right.
Have there been any new developments in the case to find your...
Well, the biggest development, it's been probably a year ago, was they cleaned house in Boulder. Brought in a new police chief from the outside with good experience. He's a good guy. The Citizens Review Board recommended termination of 5 of their detectives for poor performance, including the one that had our case for years. And he was a poor performer. I have personal experience. So that was a big step. And I met with them, the chief of detectives, new guy, but experienced. And the chief of police I've met with, 3 or 4 times now. And I'm impressed. They're competent people with experience and good, logical common sense.
And so have they started from, day one to go through the case?
No. I mean, what I'm advocating strongly is that they go to a outside lab like an Othram, whom I'm familiar with, and use the forensic genetic genealogy approach. You have to get new samples to do that because the sample has to be compatible with that. The COVID sample, which we have from, not COVID, CODIS.
CODIS, yeah.
Yeah, which is the federal database, from 1997, unidentified male DNA, but it's 15 markers. And that's at the time, it was the only thing we had, but it's like, okay, do you match that? Nope. Okay, next. Do you match that? Well, there's 3.6 billion people in the world. We got to go through all of them. This allows you to do a family tree investigation, and it's huge. And it solved a lot of old cold cases using that approach. And so, to me, that's the silver bullet.
And we're seeing that all the time now.
Yeah.
These old cases being solved.
It's a no-brainer.
Well, it's so good to see you again. I know they're waiting for you to go on the stage, John, and hopefully, by the next time we talk, there's a little bit of progress.
That'd be great.
Good seeing you.
Thanks for your interest.
Thank you. Big thanks to John Ramsey, who is continuing to fight to find the killer of his daughter. From there, we'll jump over to Matt Murphy. Many of you know and love Matt Murphy.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Oh, you can see she's gonna sneeze.
Coming out.
While I roll the interview with Matt. Okay, here we are with Matt Murphy at CrimeCon in Denver. Have you been to Denver before?
I've never been to Colorado before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What do you think so far?
Well, all I know about Colorado is what I learned on South Park. So,
Nice.
but it's funny, you go to the airport and then come straight to the hotel.
Yeah.
So I still feel like I haven't seen Colorado yet.
I know. We just stepped outside for the first time for like 2 minutes. And anyway, what are you doing here this weekend?
So I got a panel tomorrow with a buddy of mine, and then I'm going to present a serial killer case I did on Sunday. So that's it's the Andrew Urdiales case. It's like worst serial killer ever that nobody's ever heard of. So,
Really? Can you give us a little tease about what the premise?
Well, he killed 8 people, what we're going to do, I'm going to get a little more into the nitty-gritty on what happens behind the scenes in the actual trial, and it's specifically the cross-examination of expert witnesses. So it's a really interesting case. They ran with what's called a fetal alcohol defense, which I'd never encountered before in my long career. And so how we approach the experts on that, and I'm going to try to take people through. I brought my actual cross-examinations from the trial.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to go through and break that all down for them, and I think people will enjoy it. I hope they do.
Oh, that's great. So what is it about true crime that you think interests people so much?
Well, I think that number one, like they say, there's no. What do they say? This is my brain on drugs
That's
and
all
on
right. Yeah,
high
no worries.
altitude.
You're good. Do you want me to re-ask it?
No, it's true. Yeah, why don't we?
Okay,
Sorry.
Let me re-ask it. So what is it about true crime you think that people find so fascinating?
Well, as they say, truth is stranger than fiction, right? So people can get into the real human drama of all this, and murder cases are really interesting. There's a voyeuristic aspect, and I think part of it is people see they see themselves in these cases in a way. And you have heroes, you have villains, and also I think in our overheated time of political rhetoric, it's a sanctuary where people can agree again, because so many of these cases really are black and white. A lot of them are, where there might be nuances in why the person did it or what an appropriate sentence should be, but in a good old-fashioned whodunit, it's good guys versus bad guys, cops and robbers, all that stuff that I think people like these days.
And that is the thing about CrimeCon is you have people of all political persuasions,
right,
all races, all genders.
Right.
I mean, it is one of those universal things that's not politicized.
That's right, and it's about right and wrong, and that includes cases where, and it happens every once in a while. It's rare. Every once in a while, the wrong guy will get charged with something, or cases get overfiled, and that's an important part of the discussion too. As a prosecutor, a lot of people don't know that, but that's one of the most important jobs of a prosecutor is to sort out, the cases, and their job is to achieve justice, not just to get convictions. So that's a really important part of the discussion too. So it's all about doing the right thing and making sure the right person is punished in the right way for the crime that they did.
Where can people find you if they want to?
So Matt Murphy Law on Instagram. It's probably the best place. I answer all my own DMs. So
Even the ladies that ask you out?
I'll answer.
He'll
I may not say yes.
I shouldn't have said that. So don't DM him for date requests. Send him legal questions.
But no, I really do. I'm still doing my own Instagram. So you can be found on that. And
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to a fun weekend.
Thank you, Matt. And that was Matt Murphy. Erica's all better now. She got the sneezes out. Big thanks to Matt. We actually run the last crime cruise with him, and he's a good guy. And he's done some amazing prosecution work in California and has written a book. So the Book of Murder is what it's called. Now from Matt, he's on ABC, over to CBS, Erin Moriarty. She's on 48 Hours. She's a phenomenal storyteller. She's been doing this for a while, and I told her when I was a young reporter in 2006, I worked for a CBS station, and there was a 48 Hours that had Idaho ties, and so I got to interview her on satellite back then. It was via satellite, and she said she remembered me. She seemed authentic. She's like, there's no way it was that long ago, but it was. Her big thing, she's been in the Yogurt Shop Murders lately on HBO Max, if you've seen that, but she's done a bunch of other things. So anyway, I'll let her talk. Here's Erin Moriarty. So we are backstage here with Erin Moriarty. You know her, you love her, you watch her on 48 Hours. You should have your own show, Erin, but
I think I like you because you pronounce my name so perfectly. Nobody does.
What are you doing here at CrimeCon this year?
Well, we are talking about a case that was kind of inspired by a show we did on 48 Hours. We're doing a podcast on it called 15 Inside the Daniel Marsh Murders. And the reason why I'm doing this story is because he's kind of a killer unlike most others. He started fantasizing about murders when he was 15, committed to murders, and instead of being put off by it, he just wanted to do more. And so it raises so many, he's been diagnosed as a psychopath, and it raises so many questions. What do you do with someone like this? First, why is he the way he is? Was he born that way? Did his childhood have something to do with it? And then how long can you keep him in prison? And also, as he tries to get out of prison, how do you keep the victim's family from being re-victimized over and over again? And so those are the questions we're talking about at CrimeCon.
And people watching might have seen you lately in the HBO Max series about the Yogurtland murders. And I was just telling Erin, I didn't know she had been the original journalist on this. How many years now?
There. Okay, so that happened in 91, December 1991. I was on that story maybe 3 months afterwards. And because the story kept developing, and of course because 4 really terrific kids were murdered and it was an unsolved case, I just stayed on it. And so when they were HBO was going to do a documentary on it, I had mixed feelings. I didn't quite know how I would come across because there were times when the victims' families were upset with me because I was looking and talking to the defendants.
And reporting the story.
That's what you have to do as a reporter, so I was worried. But I wanted to do it because I want people to know about the case, and I want that case solved. It doesn't bring those 4 darling girls back who'd be now in their 40s, but it might give some peace to the family.
What is it about true crime you think that fascinates people?
Well, they are good mysteries. They involve real people. Sometimes you see extraordinary heroes, people who would seem ordinary, and then when they're put in these extraordinary circumstances, they step up and they act in extraordinary ways. Cops, family members. I also think, sadly, we can't talk about politics, but we can argue about these cases. This is the one area that people can talk about in this country without getting angry. I think that's so sad, but I think that plays a part.
And you see people from all walks of life at CrimeCon.
No matter their political. But I love it.
Yeah,
you know what
great.
I love about CrimeCon? I can actually see the people who watch this show, and that is so cool.
Yeah, we were just talking. I interviewed Erin many years ago when I was a young reporter. I was so excited, and now I get to see her in person. So good to see you. Excited for your session.
It's great seeing you too.
Thank you, Erin Moriarty. Watch her on 48 Hours. Our thanks to Erin for chatting with us, and she's a fan favorite here at CrimeCon.
Yes.
People love her. You know who else is a fan favorite? By request, Courtroom Confidential. Many of you said, Nate, please interview Josh. That's exactly what we did. Here's my conversation with Josh. We are backstage here at CrimeCon chatting with Josh Ritter. You know him, the host of Courtroom Confidential. What have you thought of CrimeCon?
It's wild. I'm blown away. I went for the first time ever last year in Nashville, and that was incredible, very impressive, the enthusiasm of people. People are just in a great mood. Everybody's friendly, but it's also an incredibly respectful environment of the subject matter. Right. And then this year, we, for the first time, brought out a booth where we have a podcast. We got nominated. We're very excited about it, and it's even bigger and more impressive this time around. It's growing every year.
Tell me how you got involved in doing your podcast.
I actually had no plans on doing it. I had been asked to host a podcast by True Crime News that actually won an award last night. So I'd been with them for a little while, and then my wife turns to me about a year ago and says, "We got to do our own." And I'm like, I don't have the bandwidth for this. Yeah. But we started it, and the side project, as always, quickly became the main project, and now we love it, and I'm spending more time doing that than anything else, and it's fantastic. Are you still
practicing law?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, don't let my clients know how busy I am with everything
else.
How
do you balance it all?
It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm stretched very thin, but I think it shows you how much I love doing the podcasting and being a part of this world, and I don't ever feel like it's work, but we're working very hard.
Yeah. And what type of cases do you personally represent?
Criminal defense. Yeah. So I'm in Los Angeles. I take clients, everything from DUIs up to murders, and my caseload, I will say, is not as heavy as it used to be, but I still servicing clients, and I work with a partner, so that's very helpful. Yeah.
Why do you think so many people are interested in true crime?
We asked our audience that. What brought you to this? A lot of people, well, first of all, it's human stories, right? It's the idea of just incredible tragedy of what people are going through. I think people enjoy mystery. That's a part of it too. But it was amazing to me how many people, women especially, felt, I want to know this to kind of feel like I can educate myself and protect myself for there's badness in the world, and just kind of keep on the watch for that, which to me as a male was an interesting perspective I had not thought about, because to me I'm interested in from a kind of scholastic perspective as a lawyer and the mystery and the proving the case, but there's many different aspects about true crime that I think attract people to it.
Got any big episodes coming up? Any big cases you're looking at?
The one case that whenever people ask me that I'm really interested in, because I think we might be having some movement on it, is the Ellen Greenberg case out of Philadelphia. If you guys know this case, it was declared a suicide initially. It's over 10 years old. But then when you look at the reconstruction of evidence, she was stabbed multiple times, but it was on her back and the back of her neck and the back of her head. And it's just forensically, there is a lot of people who feel there's no way this could have been a suicide. And so I'm interested to see if there might be any movement on that case.
Interesting. I hope there is. There's so many questions around that one.
Yeah.
Good seeing you, Josh. You can catch Josh on Courtroom Confidential. You know who else has a podcast? Joseph Scott Morgan.
Body Bags.
Body Bags. I first met Joseph Scott in the early days of Daybell. He would come on Nancy Grace, and I would go on too. And I didn't really know him, but then we actually met in person, and he's a great guy, lots of knowledge, and we caught up with him for a short interview in the green room, and here's what he had to say. Okay, everybody, here we are at CrimeCon with Joseph Scott Morgan. What are you doing here this year, Joseph?
Oh my Lord, let's see.
What aren't you doing, I should say?
I'm doing 5 appearances this time. Yeah, that's never happened. So Nancy and I kind of kicked things off yesterday, talking about the Ellen Greenberg case, which is something that's near and dear to my heart. We've covered it for years now, hoping to see some resolution on some level, because unfortunately, the politicians keep kicking the proverbial can down the road. We're getting further and further out in time, and it's one of the more tragic stories I think that I've covered that's personally impacted me. Today I'm going to do a session on postmortem interval, asking the question, what are the dead trying to say to us? So we're going to talk about the changes of relative to bodies, after death, and a little insight there, I think. Like to educate along the way, just like I do with Body Bags, my podcast. And I'm on multiple panels, doing stuff with Crawl Space guys. I'm doing a live recording of Body Bags here. I'm going to talk about the origin of my name.
Can you give us a hint about that?
Well, yeah. Actually, I'm named after a homicide victim. My great uncle was murdered back in the 50s. Yeah, and so I was named after him 13 years after his murder.
Do they know who did it?
Oh yeah, and he only served 1 year in prison. So
wow.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that a little bit today too.
All right, they're about to pull you away from my camera. So everybody, check out Joseph Scott Morgan's podcast, Body Bags. Very appropriate for his background, and good seeing you again.
Good to see you too, Nate.
Joseph Scott, great, and then one of my personal CrimeCon favorites, Cheryl McCullum. She is the podcaster behind Zone 7. And
also a crime scene investigator.
And also maybe one of the most hilarious people I've ever met.
There was a woman that got Cheryl's name tattooed on her arm this morning. So here's how this worked. Nancy, Grace, Cheryl, and Joseph were all getting ready to go on the stage. I interviewed Nancy, which we showed you last night. And then Cheryl came to sit down, but Nancy was off to the side, and Erica just started to roll. And you'll see what happened here. We didn't have time to do a formal introduction.
Yes, and it was a little chaotic.
It was
so
chaotic in the green
camera
room.
work.
So anyway, here's Cheryl, and there's no introduction, but take it away.
This is about Nancy Grace, but let me tell you.
I mean, these two. He does an interview with me. I turn my back and look what sits down.
Yeah. We at least we switched chairs.
Hey, honey, how are you? See the difference?
Cut her mic.
Hey,
cut
wait.
her mic.
Come here. Come here. Turn around. Turn around. This is how I do, y'all. Giddy up, baby. Coattails. Damn straight. Do y'all know that story?
I've never started an interview like that, but you're still rolling? Okay. On that note,
I'll tell y'all that story. I was at CrimeCon several years ago, and I'm standing in this group of people. They're asking me all these questions, and then this woman says, "Hey, I know you. You're that girl that rides Nancy Grace's coattails."
Oh, I'm serious.
And I was like, "You damn straight."
Well, if you're riding her coattails, you're riding high and mighty.
Hey,
and you've got.
She lets me.
Yes. For Cheryl, tell me about the podcast Zone 7.
Zone 7 is a podcast I started under Nancy's umbrella about 2022. And Zone 7 came about because Atlanta has 6 police zones. So back in the day, before cell phones, before pagers, and people had police scanners, if we wanted to meet afterwards at our top bar, which is Manuel's Tavern, we would say everybody 5-9 at Zone 7. So that just became that inner core people, the people you trusted, the people that'll tell you the truth, help you out. People like Joe Scott Morgan and Nancy, obviously, were in my Zone 7. So that's why I named it that.
And what do you talk about on the show for people that haven't heard it?
Cold cases, current cases that we think we can put a little bit of help to, whether it's talking about geographical profiling or DNA, whatever it might be that people may not know about. So we just try to highlight, hey, if this was my case in the real world, or if it is my case, this is what we're doing, or this is what should be done.
And a lot of people might listen to the podcast and not know that you're still actively going out to crime scenes.
Yes, I am an active CSI.
Yeah.
Have not retired yet.
Close,
maybe.
Are you, I don't want to say hardened or getting tired of it? Like what still gives you the get up and go factor?
People ask me that, and here's the bottom line. I am surrounded by heroes every day. I mean, think about my job. If there's gunfire, I work with people that are going to run toward it. I have people that will stand in front of me and make sure I'm okay. I get to call people like Joe Scott or Nancy or, Barbara Butcher and say, hey, I've got a case, I'm stuck. What do you think? What am I missing? How in the world could I ever burn out? How?
Right. Where can people find your podcast?
The podcast is everywhere. iHeart, Spotify, all of them. So please tune in to Zone 7.
And what are you talking about here at CrimeCon?
Today on Nancy's panel, we're doing the Gabby Petito case.
Awesome. Cheryl is a wonderful podcast host, but a more wonderful person.
Thank you.
She's so sweet. You hear the Southern accent. She's got the Southern charm.
But again, speaking of heroes, I mean, come on. Wow. Track that heifer down in Hawaii. So you got to love it. But again, I'm surrounded by you, and look at all these people. Gabby Petito's parents.
Yeah,
I mean, if you can't get motivated here, honey, there ain't no help.
Yeah. Thank you, Cheryl. Check out our podcast, everybody. If you ever have a chance to meet Cheryl, she is very nice, very funny. We've met her family, great people. You know who else is great? Josh Mankiewicz, Dateline. Yes. Josh is the great. He goes around with a badge on his lapel that says mayor. They're saying he's the CrimeCon mayor because he's been here from the beginning. Everybody knows him. He stops and shakes hands with people. And anyway, he's a great guy. Works with Keith, of course. Keith didn't make it this year. I texted Keith. He said, I feel guilty for not being there. But I should have put on his guilty East Idaho News shirt. Anyway, here's Josh Mankiewicz from Dateline. He's got the mayor badge on, so you know he's official. We're here at CrimeCon.
Yes.
Josh Mankiewicz from Dateline. What are you working on? What are you talking about?
Well, citizen, or perhaps I should address you as voter.
I have an appeal.
Yes. My next story is going to be right here in Denver. And we're working on it right now. It'll be ready around the end of September. And then I have another story, which is in Palm Springs, California. That one's ready. I don't know exactly when it's going to run.
Yeah.
When all of these things run has a little bit to do with the sort of chess game with us and our competition as to who runs what when.
Right.
Because some of these things other people have also done. So we don't want to do it like the week after they did it,
Right.
but we might want to do it the week before they do it.
Right,
So
right. It's the game of TV.
It
And you're
is.
coming on how many seasons for Dateline? Brand new season?
34,
34.
I think.
You've been with them from the beginning?
No, I joined in 1995. They'd been around for a couple of years at that point. At the end of this month, we will air our 3,000th show.
Wow.
And we're having this event in Nashville.
Yeah, you can come and meet Josh.
Yes.
And Keith and Andrea
Yeah.
and Blaine, all of them.
Everybody, and Lester.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, Lester's going to be with you more now.
Full time.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. So what did you think when Dateline decided to shift years ago from the magazine type show to crime?
I wasn't tremendously interested in it.
Really?
Because I'm an idiot. But yeah, I was like, like in journalism, when you start, you're on the cops, right? Not when you end.
Yeah.
And I'd been here a long time. I liked being on a magazine show. I liked doing all those different stories. But then I could tell they really wanted to do crime. And I was like, okay, I'll try one. So I did one. And then when that was over, I thought, well, that's kind of fun. I liked that a lot more than I thought I did. And the audience really responded. So,
Do you still miss doing some of the other stuff, or have you?
Every now and then there's a story that I think like, oh, that'd be a fun thing to cover.
Yeah.
Right? But this has been great.
Yeah.
This has been great.
And Dateline has just blown up over the years.
I know.
I mean, it's huge.
I know. I mean, look, True Detective magazine, right? Sort of stories of, the terrible crimes and the dogged cops who solved them. That was first published in 1924. Right? So that's like 100 years of crime journalism in America. What's new is not the interest. What's new is the way people are getting the product and the sophistication of the storytelling.
Right.
So now people are listening to it, on their morning run, or they're listening to it on the commuter train, or they're watching it on their phone during their lunch hour. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to consume Dateline. When I talk with people now, I always ask them how they consume it, right? And some people say, we just listen to the podcasts. And some people, stream it the next day on Peacock.
Right.
And I presume some are sitting in front of the TV at 9 o'clock on Friday night. At least I hope so.
Yeah. Well, I'm one of the podcasts in double time, so I can get through it quicker.
Right.
They're trying to pull you because you got to go on stage.
The hell with them.
Let's keep talking.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add?
We love you, and you've been
We
a
love you.
tremendous resource to Dateline, for which we thank you.
Yeah, you guys have been great to work with, and maybe there'll be another crazy Idaho story.
Count on it.
Yeah. Then you and Keith can team coverage.
We'll fight it out.
Fight it out. Okay.
Perfect.
Josh is always so fun to talk to.
Yes, and they have a big anniversary coming up for
Yeah,
Dateline.
in Nashville, they're doing a big
So-
Dateline thing, and I told Erica maybe we should go. And I think there's still a few tickets left, but I don't know. We've traveled a lot.
Yes.
I'm really excited to show you this next interview. I've never met Kelly Siegler, and I didn't know if she'd do an interview with me. She's very popular. She has the show, I believe, on Oxygen, Investigation Discovery, where she actually goes in with the team and they solve crimes, or at least help put some interest into cold cases. So we sat down for a second and I got to ask her a couple questions. Here's what she said. All right, we are backstage here at CrimeCon. You know her and you love her. You watch her all the time. Kelly Ziegler's here with us. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So how many years have you been to CrimeCon now?
Oh, I think I've only missed 2, and I was at the very first one, so it's been a while, yeah.
And what do you like about it?
Oh my God, these mostly ladies here are very enthusiastic, very excited. How they have girls' trips and mother-daughter trips and bachelorette parties, it's pretty cool.
Someone told me they might get married next year at CrimeCon.
Oh my God, that poor man.
Can you imagine? What is it about these true crime cases that you think draw so many people out and have people watching your shows?
I think that ladies, maybe even more so ladies more my age, they like to figure things out. They pay attention to the details. They're nosy, they're curious, they remember everything, and they like putting the puzzles together. They like figuring out what's going on, and that's what makes them so excited, I think.
How do you decide which cases to pursue?
Well, because we never want to get everybody's hopes up and stir up pain once again with all that victims' families have been through. We try to only pick cases where we really think we can solve it. So if you see us coming to town to work on a case, our hopes are up that we think we can solve it, but we try not to hurt the family again unless we're going to get somewhere. So that's the first step. We really think we can solve it.
Yeah, is there one case in particular? I know this is a really hard question over all your years that really hits close to home for you.
You know, it's really funny how with different cases you just have different memories. Sometimes it's the cop or the town or something that went really wrong or something that happened crazy. Always the families and that last day when we talk to them, you always remember that. But it's just different things you remember about the cases, really.
Yeah. And what will you be speaking about today?
We're going to talk about more of the behind the scenes of how the show comes together with people that are my team that have been doing it for a very long time. They never get any credit, they never get any recognition, and honestly, this wouldn't be happening without them. So this is a kind of like a behind the scenes sneak peek at how we do it.
Which people love.
Good, I hope so.
Here, they're great.
I hope so.
Very good. Anything you want to add, Kelly?
No, but thank you. Thank you for everything you do.
Big thanks to Kelly for chatting with me. Hope to catch up with her again. She's got a great show. It's really fascinating. Yeah. And then another favorite we have, Vinnie. Vinnie Politan.
Vinnie.
Great guy. So nice. Generous with his time. Funny. Italian. Just a good guy. He had me on a show. If you ever get a chance to meet him, he's wonderful. He loves it here. He'll stop and get photos. He's doing a million things, not only Court TV, but his podcast with his buddies and celebrating his 60th year. He told us all about it. Here's what else he had to say. Here with the #1 person of interest at CrimeCon. He even has it on his shirt. You probably shouldn't advertise that if you're trying to hide it. Vinnie Politan, you know him, you love him from Court TV. How's it been? How's CrimeCon been?
Oh, you know what it's, I mean, every year, and it's getting bigger and bigger, but this year is the first time I came a day early, and I'm staying a little later, so I'm fully embracing it. Other times, schedule-wise, I had to jump in and jump out, and I got the flavor, it was great, but this has been amazing, because it's like long, full days, and getting to meet so many people in different places, you know? And then sometimes, you know, it's just a conversation. You see a couple of people having a cup of coffee and they kind of give you that look. So I sit down and start talking.
Right.
And everyone has a different perspective. Like, there's a commonality to everyone, right, the true crime, but people come at it from different perspectives. And to me, that's interesting. So I have these interesting conversations. And for me, you know, they think it's for them, this whole thing. It's also for us, because it's the direct contact with the audience and the people, so you understand what resonates with them, what they want to see, what they want to hear, and they kind of give me energy and guidance for the next year in approaching all the stories.
Right. It seems like every year at CrimeCon, there's a big case that we get a verdict or something. Last year, Chad Daybell got the death penalty.
Yep.
This year, you know,
Donna Adelson. So it happened during my show. Yeah. But I'm not on the air because it was on Thursday. So we were doing the show here on Friday. We weren't doing it on Thursday. Thursday was kind of like the travel, get settled day. Right. So I'm in the hallway and I check my phone and get a notice, verdict's in. I get a text message. So I'm like, oh, I go on the Court TV stream on YouTube, boom, and they're broadcasting my show on there. And I start watching it. I turn around and there's like 25 people behind us and we watch the verdict together. Again, amazing experience, because when we do verdicts, right, we're on the air, everybody else is on the other side. This time we were all together watching the verdict. So it was kind of special in terms of the actual verdict. It was expected and it was celebrated by the folks who were there.
Right, and you're there in the element. What were your thoughts when you heard Brian Kohberger took a plea agreement? Because right now you'd be wall to wall with that case. Yeah. I'd be at the courthouse.
Sure,
you know.
Sure.
What were your thoughts?
Here's the way I look at the death penalty, okay? I am not like, everyone must die, death to killers, right? The way I look at it and approach the death penalty is, every state has their option, their choice to decide what the law is in their state, right? So if you're a state with the death penalty, I look at it, well, what's the death penalty for? It's for the worst of the worst, right? It's reserved for those who society has no place for. It's the punishment, it's the deterrence, it's the law. So if he doesn't get the death penalty, who does? Who does? I don't understand. Like, I get it, you know, some of the reasoning, etc. But if you're a criminal defendant now in Idaho, every criminal defendant in a murder case deserves the offer of life without the possibility of parole. And I'm a former prosecutor. I don't personally believe that the death penalty should be a bargaining chip. In New Jersey, it never really was. And as a prosecutor, I worked in a county that was very safe. The homicide squad was one prosecutor, and it wasn't me. But the approach to it was the death penalty. We reserve this for the worst of the worst, and there are no deals. Yeah. So I was disappointed, not that he's not on death row, but like if it is a state for the death penalty and we know who he is and what he did and the evidence is there, there's no doubt, there's no question, then why have the death penalty?
Then he would have gotten the death penalty.
Right. And I don't think the legislators in the state, when they enacted or said we're going to have the death penalty, did that to give prosecutors a bargaining chip. They did it to punish the worst of the worst. Yeah. So I was disappointed. And then obviously, you know, for TV, yada, yada, yes. But there are other cases and stories that we'll cover that'll get more light now, and they did. But just from a legal perspective, if you're in a jurisdiction that has the death penalty, it should be non-negotiable.
You're turning 60 this year. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
How are you celebrating? You're not just celebrating on your birthday.
No, I'm touring the world. So like we went to the Sundance Film Festival.
Oh, nice.
That's how I started off. We had a karaoke night.
Last year in Utah, I think, right?
Yeah, it was the last year in Park City. Yeah. It was awesome. I met up with Mike King.
Nice.
Yeah, so he met me. So I'm doing all these tour stops, and people are either coming with me or meeting me there.
Yeah.
You know, we did like a karaoke night at a dive bar. We went to the Jersey Shore. I hadn't been there in years. Met some of my Jersey people. Went to the restaurant where I met my wife on our first blind date.
Oh, wow.
And it was double blind. Like I didn't know her, she didn't know me.
Yeah.
I didn't know her friend who was fixing us up.
Yeah.
She didn't know my friend who was fixing us up. So it was like that. And it was a Houlihan's, which is like a chain restaurant you may or may not know. And I found the exact chair I was sitting in because when we got there, the young ladies weren't there. So I'm waiting there. My friend who's fixing us up goes to the men's room. So I'm sitting there by myself, and two women approach. They're like girls, really, because they're young, right? We're young. They approach, and I see one or two, and I'm like, I hope it's the one over there. Nothing wrong with her, but I hope it's the one. And it was.
Oh, nice. And here you are, how many years later?
A lot. So 10, 20, 30,
yeah.
3+ decades. It's like 35. I hate to say because it's like, it's a long time. It's a great time.
Yeah.
But it just means that you're getting, you know, you're getting older and older and older. But it's been 35 years.
Well, you don't look 60. Maybe part of your tour you can swing by Idaho.
Yeah.
And not go to a courthouse.
Well, we got a big one coming up. We're going to Italy.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
going to the hometown of my people.
Great.
My people. So that's going to be kind of, I don't know if it's going to be emotional, but it'll be amazing because I'll be the first one from our family to ever return to that town.
Oh, wow.
As none of my uncles have gone. My parents didn't go because it's off the beaten path. It's not a place where tourists go.
Right.
So we had to go somewhere, and then we'll have to take a day trip to get there. But I'm looking forward to that, and it's been awesome. It's been awesome. And this actually is one tour stop.
CrimeCon.
I said I'm doing CrimeCon, and I'm bringing my buddies with me. Alan Jonesy, we do a podcast together, the Tangent Podcast, and this is one of our stops, so we've just had a blast.
Nice. And Vegas next year.
It's official?
It's official.
I didn't hear. It's officially Vegas.
It's officially Vegas.
And is
in May.
In May.
Yeah.
And did they say which hotel or anything yet?
I think it's one of the Caesars properties. I don't know which
Okay.
one.
All right.
Yeah.
Hail Caesar. Hail Caesar. Well, they should have enough rooms in Vegas for us.
I would imagine, right. And enough flights in.
So it'll be very convenient. When are they coming to Atlanta?
Good question. maybe they'll hear you. And
Yeah,
come to
we
Atlanta.
need CrimeCon in Atlanta.
Yeah.
The home base of Court TV, and I think Nancy Grace lives down there too.
She does.
Yeah.
And Chick-fil-A headquarters and Coca-Cola.
Yes, College Football Hall of Fame.
Lots to do in Atlanta. Vinny, always a pleasure.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
You're doing good?
Doing well, yeah.
Look like you lost a little weight.
I've lost
Did he
a
lose
little
weight? He lost weight,
I
right?
lost some weight.
He looks
I'm
good.
44 now, not
44.
so trying to
He's
be
a
healthy
kid.
and
He's a baby.
Still
He's
balding.
just a baby.
Going great. Thanks for having us on last night. If you missed a show with me and Detective Hermosillo and Colby Ryan,
Yeah, that was amazing.
you can go watch us. somewhere.
Yeah, it's posted.
YouTube probably, yeah.
Yeah, it's posted. It's on YouTube.
Okay, first
YouTube.
time for those guys going on with Vinny and live studio audience, and someone asked if Ray Hermosillo wanted to marry her. So,
Yeah.
kind of.
We almost had to change it to the Bachelorette.
Ooh, you should do that.
Yeah.
Bachelorette crime
Con.
competition.
That would-
20 women for every one man.
That would be fascinating.
Record high ratings.
It'd be fascinating. But there's no men here.
I know.
So there's, what's the percentage? What do you think the percent? I originally said 85%, but walking around, I think it's higher
90.
percentage. It's
90.
90% women.
Yep.
So
all the men can do like a sports con at the same time in another hotel.
absolutely.
All right.
Great
Thanks
to
for
see you,
watching.
my friend.
You too.
Thank you.
There we go. 9 interviews. Thanks for sticking with us. But before we get to some shout outs and whatnot, we have to show you the wall, the missing persons wall and the murdered wall. Remember, this is what it looked like the other day. I'll show you. Here's some video of me doing a tour showing you that. That was Thursday. And now we will cut to a piece we just shot a few hours ago outside of the wall. Okay, you remember the other day, the first day of CrimeCon on Thursday, I showed you the wall of missing people, murdered people, unsolved mysteries, unsolved cases. That's how it looked like that day. And here's how it looks like today on the last day of CrimeCon. Look at this. It is just full of posters, of hearts. I can't even read them all to you, but we'd be here quite a while. Of badges. Here's one. Come on up here, honey. 16-year-old girl, Chloe Elizabeth Jane, 16. She's been missing since November 6th of 24 from Lakewood, Colorado. We talked about this guy the other day, and it looks like there's some heart messages on here, like always looking for you, praying for your safe return, Jason. There's some age-advanced photos. For instance, this young man who's been missing since 1986, Christopher Abete, is that how you say it? He was a baby, 7 months old. This is what they believe he might look like now. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children does these age progression photos when they take pictures of the mom and the dad and family members and the baby pictures, and they see what they could possibly look like today. Here's a case going all the way back to 1974. Someone said, "Oh, my girls, I will keep your names heard," and more. The advocates. You've got these ones. So as you can see, there are people that just come and leave their messages by these loved ones' photos. And over here, honey, let's show these. They actually leave the names. You can put these around your cup, your coffee cup or your soda cup. So there's Wilma June, Trish Haynes, a lot of Trish Haynes. There's this one with QR codes. There's the young man who I just talked about over there, Christopher, who went missing at age 7 months, and he would be 39 now. So many questions, so many stories behind all of these people, and it just makes you wonder that you walk by and you see them, and this is why so many people come to CrimeCon, to not only get help for their loved ones who are missing, like these people, but also to try to help solve these crimes, solve these mysteries. And it's happened before, and these people are somewhere out there, and somebody knows something. So as you can see, throughout the weekend, it just fills up, and then people will leave here dedicated to help solve these crimes. So many people that need answers to those cases.
It is very sobering to look at that wall and see how many people are missing their loved ones or have cases that have not been solved and have been cold for so many years.
And different ages, little kids, teenagers, young men, young women. I want to mention the cards that our neighbor gave us. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh, yes.
Do we have one? Did we give them all away?
I have one. Do you want me to run and grab it?
Yeah, why don't you grab it?
Gonna run
While
and grab
she
it.
grabs that, I'm going to talk about newspapers.com, who've been great to partner with. They're our sponsor. I told you last night they're giving away T-shirts. We're doing, I think, 5, maybe 10 T-shirts. I need to touch base with them. We've been so busy. You can enter to win a T-shirt. Go to eastidahonews.com/news T-shirt. fill it out, and we will pick a winner on Monday, so tomorrow. And we'll contact you, and you can be anywhere in the world. And newspapers.com has been such a great help here at CrimeCon, with many of you stopping by, signing up. You can look up all sorts of interesting things about your family, about stuff in the news, about crimes, about whatever. And they'll give you a 7-day free trial if you go to newspapers.com, or you can set up an account and research to your heart's content. And we just have to thank newspapers.com again. There's that website. You can go news, t-shirt. And I want Erica's coming back in here. So tell me about these cards.
Okay. Well, my neighbor, who I love, she just moved about 2 weeks ago. But before she moved, she left me with some cards of her beautiful daughter, who I never got the opportunity to meet. Her name is Mackenzie, and she was murdered by her ex-boyfriend, her and her friend Jonathan. And then he ended up killing himself as well. But she has random acts of kindness cards. So we were able to do a few random acts of kindness while we were here at CrimeCon and pass along her story just to
what does it say?
Have it. I will read it. It says, "This random act of kindness was done in memory of Kenzie Madden, who was murdered as a result of domestic violence. It is our hope that this act brightened your day in some way. Let's make this world a little happier. Please continue to pay it forward. Hashtag for Kenzie." And they do have, I don't think it's called an endowment. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but they also have something with Utah State University to help train people about domestic violence. And they're just great people.
Yeah, they did something really kind for us, and Erica, we tried to pay them, and they wouldn't take it, and they said, "Here, just spread this." So we did today, and you know, we'll dedicate tonight to her, this Courtroom Insider to her, and other victims of domestic violence who don't make it, or who do make it, and who have incredible stories. And tomorrow night here on Courtroom Insider, Gabby Petito's parents are going to be here talking about Gabby and their foundation, which is in full blown, and I'm determined to get them to Idaho Falls in East Idaho in the next few months. They're busy people, but I've said we've got to get you there speaking at an event in Idaho Falls and raising money for domestic violence shelters or other organizations. And training officers. Jim Schmidt, Gabby Petito's stepfather, he goes to law enforcement agencies and fire departments and helps train them on how to respond to domestic violence situations. So it's they're doing phenomenal work. They will be here tomorrow night. Erica's getting a drink of water. Can you find one, hon?
I found a bottle.
She found a bottle.
You can still hear me, huh?
Yes. So we're going to have them tomorrow night, the Petitos. We're also going to have Mike King, I mentioned. We're going to have the guy who created CSI. I didn't know about this. Yeah. The original creator of CSI, he was here at CrimeCon. We'll have an interview with him. The behavioral panel, or I should say pair, Scott and Greg, I know many of you love them. They're going to be here. We're going to talk. And I didn't know anything about this story. It's been a highlight of my weekend. We're going to have on a guy who's taking on Roblox. Do your kids play Roblox? Ours do. I didn't know anything about this. But this guy is taking on Roblox. He's a YouTuber, and his friend too. Well, he took on Roblox and was sued. What's Schlep? Schlep.
Yes.
And
I'm sure you're going to hear a lot more about this.
I think this is just the beginning. I told this guy when we interviewed him, and it was late. We stayed up late to go interview him, like 10:30 at night, 11 o'clock at night. Because we wanted to talk to him. And a lady actually told us, like, you have to interview him. You have to hear his story. We sat down and we talked for maybe 20, 30 minutes, and I'm like, I want more. I want to hear more. He's going after child predators who are on these games in Roblox. And he can find them as easy as walking outside and finding a tree. I mean, it's insane what's happening. We're going to have him here. Every parent should really watch it. And if you ask your kids who Schlepp is, our son did, and he's 10.
And he knew.
He knew.
Schlepp did have a channel before he was going after predators, by the way. My son knows about it because Roblox banned him.
Yeah.
So you'll hear more about that.
So we have a full show tomorrow night from Idaho Falls. We'll be back home. We're going back home tomorrow. A couple shout outs today. We have Celine and Cambria from West Jordan, where I grew up. They were here at CrimeCon. Good to see them. Rose, a volunteer who was so kind. It was great to meet her. Oscar, we got to shout out your mom. Your mom.
And my mom. Your mom. Yes.
Kathy.
Thank you.
She's been watching the kids.
Grandma, for watching the kids. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, and to all of the many of you that we met at CrimeCon, I guess we could have kept track of how many hands we shook and hugs we gave and selfies we took, and it's been great. It's been a good time. We got to go to bed. We have an early morning flight, so thanks for watching. We'll have a little bit more energy tomorrow night.
That's right. You might be by yourself tomorrow night.
Oh, I probably will be. Eric's gonna be hanging out with tomorrow probably. But we'll be tomorrow night in Idaho Falls, assuming all goes well. I hope you'll watch. And go into that t-shirt contest. Thanks, newspapers.com, and thank you for watching. See you later.
Bye-bye.